Marco, you want to introduce yourself, buddy?
My name is Marco. I am Ben's favorite tech in the shop.
He's very
his
nervous
neighbor,
right now. He is.
And his buddy. And soon to be rival in my 335.
No, there's no comparison and or competition.
Sure.
Anyways, guys, what's up? Welcome back to another YouTube video. This is my friend Marco, as he's already introduced himself. Today is not going to be anything crazy. I've got an overhaul of suspension components to install on the 335i. I'm going to roll this one up. This is ECS Tuning's sway bar. I think this is a 28 millimeter sway bar with their what are these called? Poly mounts or poly mount brackets. One of the two. I'm trying to take them out. There we go. So pretty nice. The quality is nice. I'll get closer to Jamal so he can show you guys. That's where you insert the grease from. Pretty good quality. So we're going to be installing that, and then I have a bunch of arms over here. Well, actually I have every single arm for the front of the car, the whole 10-piece set. Lower control arms, thrust arms, track rods, you name it, it's in the box. And me and Marco are going to be installing all this today because when I'm doing revision pulls, because I am driving this car somewhat now.
Dude, press and start and stop.
Yeah, when I'm doing revision pulls and I go to brake, the steering's everywhere. I would recommend anybody who has a high mileage E9X vehicle, doesn't matter whether 335i or 328, high mileage being 100,000 miles, or if you're feeling some sort of like vibration or wobbling, or if your steering is going one way or the other while you're driving and it's not an alignment issue, it's more than likely going to be a suspension related issue. So it could be your thrust arms, it could be your lower control arms, it could be a bunch of things. So that's why I'm doing this, because I have all of those symptoms, because this car has 108,000 miles and was made in the year 2008, and this is all the OEM factory suspension control arm set. As you guys will see in the B-roll, I mean, it all looks nasty. It's all obliterated. So we're going to refresh it today, get brand new suspension, all of it, every single piece on the front. And I'll eventually do the rear as well, but today we're just doing the front. I don't want to talk you guys to death. This is not a DIY video. It's just going to be a bunch of B-roll of me and my friend Marco here taking off all these arms and putting on all the new ones. So I'm going to let Jamal do this thing. All right, guys, so just a brief pause real quick while Marco is removing the old
Yeah. So before we start, okay? Let me tell you guys something. I was holding the camera to start this video, okay? And by the way, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. All right? Marco, right? That's your name?
Yes.
Let me tell you something, Marco. Don't ever let this man throw you under the bus like how he just threw you under the bus when we started this video. Don't ever. And if anybody is ever coming to help Ben, okay, don't you never let him throw you under the bus like that ever.
Nobody helps me ever. I'm the guy that goes and helps everybody, right? And then when I ask them for help one time, right? If I ask them for help one time, I only ask for help one time a year, right? They're like, nah, I can't. I'm busy. Oh, okay, well, there you go. That's my life.
All right, carry on, carry on.
Alright guys, so we have all of the control arms, all of the front suspension essentially off minus the coilovers. Marco's over there, he's taking a little break. He pretty much did all the work. If you guys remember in the last video when I installed the coilovers, I said that I hate doing suspension work, and I am true to that. I do hate doing suspension work. But right now, while I have everything essentially disassembled, I just want to go ahead and show you guys what I was kind of talking about earlier of when your arms, control arms, thrust arm, lower control arm, whatever, sway bar links, end links, when they go bad, some things to look for, to know. It's just some little diagnosis for you guys. So I mean, I don't know which one it is. It's on this side actually. The sway bar link is toast. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera, but it's completely blown out right here. So that'll cause a little bit of clunking noise when going over bumps and things like that. That'll be noticeable. You'll be able to hear it because all the grease is coming out of the actual inner portion of it. So that one's blown. The reason why I'm going with an upgraded sway bar is because simply for oversteer and understeer, when you're doing some spirited driving, the thicker and more durable the actual sway bar is itself, the better the steering essentially will be. It'll feel a lot tighter. It'll feel more controlled when you're doing that spirited driving. So we are upgrading again the sway bar. I think this is a 28 millimeter from ECS Tuning, and I think I mentioned earlier that I got some poly mounts for it as well. So that's why we're going with that. When it comes to the, like for instance, this is the lower control arm. I know you guys can't actually feel it, but you can see it. So this is very easy for me to move, and all this play right here is essentially why I'm replacing it, because over time it goes bad. Whether it doesn't look bad, I mean if you look at it, it just looks old, but the inner portion of it itself has gone bad essentially. And then if I were to grab a new one, right, new lower control arm right here, it's much tighter and it has a lot less play in it when moving it around. So again, that one's not busted, neither is this one, but that has a lot more play than this one. So I mean, if you're experiencing any sort of pull when driving at high speeds, or any sort of vibration or any sort of clunking noises, it could definitely be one of these mini suspension components. And this is just a little way to help you guys diagnose it. If you're turning your steering wheel and you're hearing some clunking, majority of the time it's going to be your track rods, which is what BMW calls them, but they're known as tie rods. As you can see, my tie rods are completely toast. They've been on this car again since 2008, along with all the rest of the arms that I'm replacing. So if you're getting some clunking noises or some cackling noises when turning the steering wheel, when going at low speeds, it's more than likely going to be your track rods right here. So I would recommend replacing the whole thing. But again, quick diagnosis for you guys. I know the car is going to drive a lot better, perform a lot better, handle a lot better after I install all these brand new arms, along with the new sway bar itself, excuse me. So that's enough talking. The next clips you guys are going to see are pretty much what you've seen the entire video, which is just cinematic B-roll of installing all the brand new arms and doing a little bit of cleanup on the subframe area, and just making it look a little bit better because again, car's old, it's pretty dirty under here. So let's get to installing. All right, guys. Well, now that you guys have essentially watched this whole video and you've essentially watched Marco do all the work, because I wasn't doing no suspension work. I was running around somewhere in the background. I gave him a helping hand whenever he needed it. Huge shout out to Marco for helping me with this. He knows how much I hate suspension. I know how much he loves it, or how easy it is for him as opposed to me.
Amazingly
it gives me a headache.
Yes.
Exactly. But as you guys can see, I don't know if you can tell from where you are, but we have plenty of B-roll to roll over. But now all the suspension components here in the front are brand new, minus the steering rack, but that's hydraulic, and I don't need it because it's not grinding. So everything here in the front is brand new. I'll probably eventually end up changing out the wheel bearings and maybe the knuckles one day too. I just didn't feel like doing all that today, or really at all, just to help clean that up, because that's really the only things that are left that are dirty. But this wasn't really that bad. I hope this video helps you guys if you're having any sort of issues when it comes to, you know, a shuddering steering wheel at high speeds, or pulling steering wheel at low speeds, whatever it may be. Hopefully this video helps you guys. Yeah, clunky noises. Yep, clunking noises. So hopefully this, you know, video helped you guys out with any of that. Jamal, you want to say anything?
Comment down below on the intervals of how often you feel like you should change these arms out, or comment down below. Yeah, basically that. Like, how often do you guys think you should change these out regularly?
Well, there you go, guys. Again, huge shout out to Marco. You will see him again. This is part one of
out
the
of like 3 that's gonna be coming.
I already told him this is part one out of part probably 2 or 3 of the suspension overhaul. Next is more than likely going to be the rear, redoing all the arms in the rear, maybe the sway bar in the rear if I feel like lowering the subframe. We'll see. And then probably one more after that when it's all said and done. But you guys will see Marco again. So we hope you've enjoyed this video. I can't wait to try out, you know, all the new arms, see how the steering feels. And thank you guys as always for all the support. And we'll catch you in the next one.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah.